Hello and welcome to another stream. My name is Ray and it is Learning Korean day 256. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Hello, China White. To answer that question right at the beginning, yes, I will stream StarCraft today. Um, yeah, it's Friday. I'm streaming StarCraft every Friday, anyways, but it's also BSL ladder phase going on, so I really need to finish my 30 games for the BSL ladder. Otherwise, I cannot qualify. I need 30 games today. Um, around 2 or 3 hours from now. Somewhere around that. Between 2 and 3 hours from now. Okay. So, with that, let's jump into the learning. So we'll again continue with how to study, no, with learn. Talk to me in Korean. I was confused because you can't see it, but the title of the website is not Talk to Me in Korean, it's Learn Korean with Talk to Me in Korean. That's why I started out with Learn Korean. Okay, Learning Center. Mm, level 2. So let's take a look here. So yeah, we learned about Manyak and Myon or Myon. And also the have to, we learned that before. Okay. Yeah, yesterday we didn't learn a lot, but it was still important. Maniac. And we have Aya Doeda. Doeda was more common, they said. Oya Doeda or Yoya Doeda. Yoya becomes He, so Heya Doeda, I think. Okay, and now we'll continue. Still already. Ajik Pulso. I learned Pulso for sure, but I did not learn about Ajik, I think. I learned Jik, but not in this context. Never mind. Yeah, so I have no idea. Let's check it out. I learned the word Pulsor, but I didn't learn any context. But it doesn't feel that difficult. It's just you can probably place it anywhere in the sentence and it means already. Okay, so let's check that out. The focus of this lesson is two new expressions with opposite meanings. Opposite meanings? Still? Already? Is that... doesn't feel opposite for me, I don't know. Still or not yet? Okay, not yet and already is opposite, yeah, but still and not yet? What? Still and not yet? I'm still learning Korean. I'm not yet learning Korean? What? That's a complete different meaning, still and not yet. Okay. And only not yet is, in my opinion, the opposite of already. Not still. Still is not the opposite of already. Okay, let's see. The word still is used with positive sentences, and the word yet is more used in negative sentences. The word ajik is used for both positive and negative. Yeah, that makes sense. If it means still and not yet, and still is positive and not yet is negative, so 아직 is also positive and negative, obviously, depending on what it means, still or not yet. It's still 10 o'clock. Yeah. Weird sentence to say, but okay. 아직 pure Korean. Pure Korean. Yol? I think Yol. Yol시에요. 아직 열시에요. Let's listen if that's correct. Yeah, wait, I can see it here. 아직 열시에요. Okay, it is correct.
You're listening to Talk to Me in Korean.
But super loud. Okay, it was just my headset. Okay.
Korean.
네.
Okay, so there won't be too much of grammatical explanations in this lesson, or will there be, 경은? 문법 설명은 많지 않죠?
네, 많지 않아요.
Yeah, there isn't going to be a lot of grammatical explanations. But these words are very, very important in Korean.
네, 중요해요.
중요해요. And there's some interesting information that we would like to share regarding these two relatively simple expressions. So I hope you will listen to the end.
네, 빨리 시작해요.
Here?
빨리 시작해요. 빨리 means quickly. 시작해요. 시작해요. 시작하다. I don't know what 시작하다 is. 시작하다. To go seat. What?
아직 여기 있어요?
Earlier in the beginning of the lesson, if I want to ask Kyungwon, oh, you're still here? Korean.
네.
Okay, so there won't be too much of grammatical explanation. 문법 설명은 많지 않죠?
네, 많지 않아요.
Yeah, there isn't going to be a lot of grammatical explanations. But these words are very, very important in Korean.
네, 중요해요.
중요해요. And there's some interesting information that we would like to share regarding these two relatively simple expressions. So I hope you will listen to the end.
네, 빨리 시작해요.
Okay.
빨리 시작해요. 시작해요. I heard that right? 시작해요.
Let's get right into it. Okay, let's get right in.
빨리 시작해요. 빨리 시작해요. 네, 빨리 시작해요.
Okay.
네, 빨리 시작해요.
Okay, let's get right into it. Okay, so
I
first
don't
up, Kyungwon, how do you say still in Korean?
아직,
아직.
아직,
아직.
아직.
Yeah, still is 아직.
네, 아직.
So, like I said earlier in the beginning of the lesson, if I want to ask Kyungwon, oh, you're still here?
아직 여기 있어요?
아직 여기 있어요?
아직 여기 있어요?
여기 있어요 is she's here, you're here, they're here, I am here. 여기 있어요, and I'm adding 아직 in
네.
front of the sentence.
아직 여기 있어요?
아직 여기 있어요?
Does it
아직
always have to
여기
be in the
있어요?
beginning?
Or if I want to show a bigger surprise and say, oh, you were still here. I didn't know you were here. And I can say the same thing in the past tense in Korean too. So I would say,
아직 여기 있었어요?
아직 여기 있었어요?
아직 여기 있었어요?
Yeah, why don't you just leave? Yeah, so that is 아직.
아직,
아직.
아직.
And in English, you have the word still, and you also have the expression not yet, right?
네,
And in Korean, actually, we use 아직 for both of them.
네, 아직.
아직. So 아직 can be still, and it can also be not
Not yet.
yet. So let's look at some examples.
네, 좋아요.
How do you say it's still 10 o'clock?
아직 10시예요.
아직 10시예요.
아직 10시예요.
One more time, what is it's 10 o'clock?
10시예요.
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 It's still 10 o'clock.
아직 10시예요.
How about I haven't done it yet?
Seems pretty easy.
아직 안 했어요.
아직 안 했어요.
아직 안 했어요.
I didn't do it.
안 했어요.
I didn't do it yet.
아직 안 했어요.
아직 안 했어요.
아직 안 했어요.
How about it's morning?
아침이
I still have not done it. I have not done it yet. Okay, so if you have a negative sentence with still, so not still or still not is the same as not yet, but not still and not yet are not the same. Still and yet are maybe the same. Yeah, still and yet, or not, or still not and not yet are the same.
예요.
아침이에요.
아침이에요.
And how about it's still morning?
아직 아침이에요.
아직 아침이에요.
아직 아침이에요.
Yeah. And how do you say I don't know?
Yeah, but there are very few sentences where you can use yet in a positive sentence. It is yet morning, it is morning yet. No, you use yet in other cases. For example, is it morning yet? But then it would be already. So yet is a weird word. I have yet to do lesson 25 of Talk to Me in Korean. Then you use yet as well, but I think 100 times more common is not yet. So yet in a negative context, and then it's definitely not the same as still. But it is the same as still not.
몰라요.
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 Again, this is a unique expression. 몰라요 is the opposite word for
알아요.
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 Yeah, so it's not 안 알아요. It is.
몰라요.
And how do you say I don't know yet?
아직 몰라요.
I don't know yet.
아직 몰라요.
I don't know yet.
아직 몰라요.
Okay, so that is about 아직. But before we go on to how to say already, well, there's another expression that we would like to introduce,
네.
which is
아직도.
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 Yeah, basically, if you
아직도.
translate that to
Okay.
English, it is the same thing. It
네.
is still or not yet, but 아직도 has a stronger
네.
nuance, right?
맞아요.
It's much, much stronger when you want to say, oh, you still haven't done that. You're still here.
아직도 여기 있어요?
Yeah. So if I say to
Okay.
경은, 아직 여기 있었어요? I can be genuinely curious
네.
why she's still here. Maybe she has something to do for me, something to ask me, right? But if I say 아직도 여기 있었어요, I'm actually criticizing her for
네.
being here.
맞아요.
Yeah. So 아직도 has the meaning
Okay.
of criticizing the other person or being a little bit mad, a little bit angry, right? So let's look at some examples.
아직도.
So how do you say plainly, do you not know yet or you don't know yet?
아직 몰라요?
아직 몰라요?
아직 몰라요?
Yeah, after you say this, you might just want to give the answer. Oh, I'll tell you if you don't know yet, right?
네.
But if you say
아직도 몰라요?
아직도 몰라요?
아직도 몰라요?
You still don't know? How could you still not know? Once again?
아직도 몰라요?
Okay, I
아직도
get it.
몰라요?
아직도 몰라요?
Yeah, you're disqualified. Okay, let's look at one more example. So how do you say he's not here yet? He didn't come here yet?
아직 안 왔어요?
아직 안 왔어요?
아직 안 왔어요?
Or let's say you and I wanted to meet up somewhere and you call me on the phone and say 아직 안 왔어요? You're still not here yet?
네, 아직 안 왔어요?
아직 안 왔어요? And 경은, what if you are very mad at me now and you are criticizing me? What would you say?
아직도 안 왔어요?
아직도 안 왔어요?
아직도 안 왔어요?
Yeah. And everyone, if you already know what this 도 means, it means also, right? So
네.
아직 is still and 도 is also. So you are emphasizing this meaning by adding 도 there.
네, 강조하기 위해서.
Yeah.
They pronounce this one. So an assoyo. So there's almost no O sound or here this W sound. It was anassoyo instead of an wasoyo. I mean, I heard it a little bit, but I can definitely see myself, if I don't have the text here, I can definitely see myself not recognizing it and then going into the, okay, was it a negative sentence? Anassoyo, G anta, negative conjugation, but what was the stem? Jik? What is jik da? I could definitely see myself going into. Oh, I mean, it's even G. G anta, G anassoyo. If I don't hear the K in the end, I think the verb is actually ada. And then I think, wait, ada? I have not learned ada yet. But it's a negative form of ada. Aji anassoyo. I can definitely. This is so similar. Aji anassoyo. Okay. Yeah. It's really important to hear every single sound.
To emphasize. 강조하다.
네.
So 아직 and 아직도.
아직, 아직도.
Okay, now that we're done with still or not yet, 아직 and 아직도, let's go on to already. Okay, in Korean, what is the word for already?
벌써,
벌써.
벌써,
벌써.
벌써.
I learned
벌
this.
plus 써.
써.
벌써.
네, 벌써.
Yeah. So it means already. Very simple.
쉬워요.
Yeah. I think the simpler the words that we introduce in our lessons are, the better it is to introduce more sample sentences. So let's look at some examples.
네.
And how do you say it's 3 o'clock?
3시예요.
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 And how do you say it's already 3 o'clock?
벌써 3시예요.
벌써 3시예요.
벌써 3시예요.
Yeah. And this 벌써.
Here I think you could hear very clearly a difference between the pronunciation of these two people. So she is saying 세시, 세시예요, but he's very clearly pronouncing 세시예요. So she and she.
Is generally
3시예요.
yeah. And this 벌써
3시예요.
벌써 3시예요.
벌써 3시예요.
Yeah. And this 벌써 is generally placed at the beginning of the sentences, but it doesn't always have to be at the beginning. For example, even in English, you can say it's 3 o'clock already, or it's already 3 o'clock, or already it's 3 o'clock, right?
네.
So let's try changing the location of 벌써 in a sentence in Korean. So give me an example, 경은.
네. 3시예요. 벌써.
3시예요, 벌써.
3시예요. 벌써.
Can I say 새 벌써 시예요?
No, you can't.
How about 3시 벌써예요?
No.
No, okay.
Wait, what did he say?
How about 3시 벌써예요?
No.
No, okay. I should not break the word group.
네.
Yeah,
And I can just
put
move
it
around.
there between these two
벌써
syllables.
3시예요. Or 3시예요. 벌써.
Okay. So both 3시예요 벌써 and 벌써 3시예요 work.
네, 맞아요.
Yeah. All right. Let's look at some more examples. So let's say Kyungwon and I wanted to meet up at 3 o'clock and I'm here early and she's here early too. We're both nice to each other.
네.
And I want to say, oh, you're already here.
벌써 왔어요?
벌써 왔어요?
벌써 왔어요?
I am not saying that you shouldn't be here, but I'm just showing my surprise, right?
네.
Oh, you're already here.
벌써 왔어요?
벌써 왔어요?
벌써 왔어요?
Yeah. And how about when the movie or a show is already over?
So one interesting thing is they had an example sentence with yogi. I don't think it was written out. They just said it, right? Yeah, okay. But earlier they said here, for example, they talked about not here, and there was yogi in there. So here they actually put that in the sentence. But here they don't. So here they only use come. You are already here, so you already came in this sentence. He didn't came. Okay, here they also have just in the past tense of to come to say being here. Yeah, but they definitely use yogi before in their example sentences. But okay, let's continue.
Or the exam period is already over. How do you say it's already over?
벌써 끝났어요.
벌써 끝났어요.
벌써 끝났어요.
And how do you ask that in a question?
벌써 끝났어요?
벌써 끝났어요?
벌써 끝났어요?
Yeah, just raise the tone at the end of the sentence and it becomes a question.
네.
벌써 끝났어요?
벌써 끝났어요?
Yes, it is already over.
네, 벌써 끝났어요.
Okay, perfect. And everyone, before we wrap up this lesson, we would like to introduce an interesting piece of information. So if you look up your Korean dictionary and if you type in already, there's another word that you will see other than 벌써.
네.
And what is it, 경은?
이미.
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 Yeah, 이 and me. 이미.
이미.
Yeah. And you will often hear this word 이미 in many song lyrics,
네.
song titles, or
Okay.
I don't know, in many situations actually, right?
네, 맞아요.
So we would like to briefly introduce the difference between 이미 and 벌써. So
Okay,
the
they're
basic
both actually the
difference
same.
lies in whether you are already aware of the fact or not, right?
Okay.
네.
When something happened and you wanted to explain what happened, and you or the other speaker already knew about it, and then you wouldn't really say 벌써.
네.
You would say
이미.
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 Yeah, for example, 경은 and I are talking about someone,
네.
one of our listeners, for example, and let's say 경은 said he already graduated from school.
그 사람은 이미 학교를 졸업했어요.
그 사람은 이미 학교를 졸업했어요.
그 사람은 이미 학교를 졸업했어요.
Yeah, she used the word 이미.
네, 이미.
And this is the situation where both 경은 and I have known about this fact long before we said the sentence.
네.
So we already knew, 이미 알았어요. Already knew that this person had graduated from school already.
네.
So we're using the word.
Okay, the question I have is it just about the speaker, or is it also about the conversation partner, about the listener in this case? So do both have to know this, or only the speaker? When you're already aware of the fact, when you or the speaker know about something, always use or and or. When you're just finding out as you speak, use 벌써. Yeah, okay. I will. Even if like it's not a super hard strict rule, it looks like so. I don't think it matters that much.
이미.
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 Yeah. But if 경은 and I are just finding out
네.
about the fact that this person graduated, we can use the word
벌써.
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 Yeah. So because of this difference, in normal everyday situations where we find out about new facts, new information, we often use
벌써.
more often.
네.
벌써.
벌써.
Yeah. So, oh, it's already raining.
벌써 비가 오고
Okay.
있어요.
Yeah. Or it's already cold.
벌써 추워요.
It's already over. One more time.
벌써 끝났어요.
Yeah. Things like that.
네.
Or, for example, when someone came running toward the door of a show place and Kyungin and I are standing there and we want to tell that person, it's already over. You know that. And,
벌써 끝났어요.
or
이미 끝났어요.
Yeah. If it's a fact that we all know, we can say 이미 끝났어요. Or if you want to just say it in a more casual way, you can still say
벌써 끝났어요.
yeah. So generally, 벌써 has a broader usage.
네, 맞아요.
Okay.
Yeah. And although these rules exist, not everybody sticks to the rules.
네.
Not everybody sticks to 벌써 still say.
벌써 끝났어요.
Or if you want to just say it in a more casual way, you can still say
벌써 끝났어요.
yeah. So generally, 벌써 has a broader usage.
네, 맞아요.
Yeah. And although these rules exist, know that. And
벌써 끝났어요.
or
이미 끝났어요.
yeah. If it's a fact that we all know, we can say 이미 끝났어요.
Okay, so here he mentioned if it's a fact that we all know, then we use imi. So it's not about only the speaker, it's also about the conversation partner. And 벌써 has a broader meaning anyway, so if in doubt, just use 벌써, I guess. And imi is really only if all people in the conversation know about it. Okay.
Or if you want to just say it in a more casual way, you can still say
벌써
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, so I click complete and now that interrupted the audio. I want to still
You're listening
listen
to
to the
Talk to
end.
Me in
I think they're 벌써 갔어요.
아, 벌써?
Yeah. They're already on our side.
아,
Lesson is already over.
벌써 끝났어요?
Yeah, 벌써 끝났어요.
아쉬워요.
아쉬워요.
네.
It's sad to see it come to an end, but
아쉬워요. What is to be said? 슬프다, I learned. 슬프다. But that's not what you used, right?
we'll see you in the next.
어,
아쉬워요.
네.
It's sad to see it
아쉬워요.
come to an end, but we'll see.
아쉬워요. 아쉬워요. 아쉽다? No. Okay, I have no idea.
See you in the next lesson, which will be level 2, lesson number 25.
네.
And for your information, lesson number 25 won't be the last lesson in level 2. We will have 30 lessons in level 2.
네.
Yeah. So we'll see you in the next lesson. And in the meanwhile, if you have any questions, please come to talktomeinkorean.com and leave us comments.
네, 코멘트 많이 남겨주세요.
I think they're 벌써 갔어요.
아, 벌써?
Yeah, they're already on our side.
아, 벌써 코멘트 남겼어요?
I think so.
Already commented.
오케이.
So yeah, why are you still here? 왜 여기? 아직도 있어요?
아, 갈게요.
Okay, bye.
바이바이.
Yeah,
안녕히 계세요.
안녕히 계세요.
Okay. So that was 24. Something, someday, someone, somewhere. I mean, I just recently learned this from How to Study Korean, so I'm pretty sure I don't need this. I will just very quickly skip through the lesson. Man, and I need to log in again. It's so weird that it just throws me out in the middle. It's a bit weird. Okay, 누군가. Yeah. So I learned everyone, everything as well. And this one is similar. Yeah, I know this, to be honest. On-gen, so everywhere, or this one is where, and this is somewhere. Okay, but in this case, the distinction is stronger. Okay. The emphasis should be on the verbs. Okay, the stress. Okay, let me hear this one.
You're listening to Talk to Me in
샀어요?
Now we're trying to
요?
뭐 샀어요?
뭐 샀어요?
When you're asking what did you buy, you are curious what is the item that the person bought. So your stress is on 뭐.
네. 뭐 샀어요?
뭐 샀어요?
뭐 샀어요?
Now we're trying to avoid using 뭔가 here. We're trying to use 뭐 here
네.
and still mean something. Okay?
네.
Let's look at how 경은 does it. So how do you say did you buy something using 뭐?
뭐 샀어요?
뭐 샀어요?
뭐 샀어요?
So what was the first sentence? What did you buy?
뭐 샀어요?
Did you buy something?
뭐 샀어요?
Can you give me the
Same.
Korean sentences only?
뭐 샀어요?
And
뭐 샀어요?
뭐 샀어요? And 뭐 샀어요?
네.
Let's exaggerate a little bit, 경은.
오케이.
So,
Yeah, it was exactly the same.
what did you buy?
뭐 샀어요?
뭐 샀어요?
뭐 샀어요?
And did you buy something?
뭐 샀어요?
뭐 샀어요?
뭐 샀어요?
So, by having the stress on 샀어요
Okay.
rather than 뭐, you're actually asking whether you bought something or not. 뭐 샀어요? And 뭐 샀어요? And now let's look at one more pair. So, how do you say China?
중국.
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 And how do you say, when are you going to go to China? When. The stress is on when.
언제 중국에 갈 거예요?
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 And how do you say, using the same word, the same exact words actually? Are you going to go to China someday? Or are you going to go to China one of these days?
언제 중국에 갈 거예요?
언제 중국에 갈 거예요?
언제 중국에 갈 거예요?
Yeah. So exact same words in the two sentences that mean totally different things.
네.
So what was the first one?
Okay, I will not recognize that in a listening challenge.
언제 중국에 갈 거예요?
When and
언제 중국에 갈 거예요?
someday or one of these days.
네.
So please pay attention and try using this to your friends. For example, when you want to ask someone, where are you going? What do you say?
어디 가요?
어디 가요?
어디 가요?
And if you want to ask, are you going somewhere?
어디 가요?
어디 가요?
어디 가요?
Yeah. So when I see Kyungun, I don't know, across the street somewhere,
네.
and I want to ask her, where are you going? I will say, 경은 씨, 어디 가요? Right?
네, 맞아요.
But if I'm just being polite and I don't really want to know where she's going, but I just want to, I don't know, I just feel like I have to say something at least. And I will say, 어디 가요?
어디 가요?
Yeah, you're going somewhere? And she will say, yeah, 어디 가요?
네, 어디 가요?
Yeah, I'm going somewhere.
네.
You don't need to know, right?
네.
So that's it. We introduced how to use 니은가 after
Okay.
언제, 뭐, 어디, 누구.
네.
But we also introduced how to not use them.
네.
Use the intonation
Pay attention.
to the intonation
네.
and try to use it.
네.
All right. So everyone, 오늘 뭐
Okay, so that was a little new thing that that you can actually just use the words for when, what, who, where to say something, somewhere, someday, somebody, but you have to put the stress on the verb. Otherwise, it's a question. And since I learned something new here, I will mark it as complete because then I see it with a little check mark here in the list on the left. And then I know, okay, there was something there. If I want to review, I know I have to check this lesson as well because I learned something new there. Okay, imperative. Oh, interesting. That's definitely new for me.
You're listening to Talk to Me in Korean.
By the way, I have to go a little bit earlier today. So this will be the last lesson.
Welcome to another lesson
네.
at talktomeinkorean.com. You're listening to Level 2.
Lesson number 26.
And in this lesson, we're going to learn something very, very useful.
네.
Well, honestly, we learn something useful in every lesson. But some lessons are more useful than others, I admit.
네.
Because in some lessons, we learn some basic stuff
네.
that you need in order to build upon something that you learned before and then be able to go to the next level. But in this lesson, we're going to learn something that you can use right away.
네, 좋아요. 시작하세요.
What did you say?
시작하세요.
What did you say?
시작하세요. Please start.
현우 씨, 시작하세요.
What did you say? Well, everyone, this is what we're going to learn today.
네.
We're not going to learn how to say what did you say, but we're going to learn how to say,
시작하세요.
yeah, something like that. How to tell someone to do something.
네.
Please sit down, please listen to it, please help me, do it right away, and
조용히 하세요.
yeah, be
현우
quiet. Be quiet. Did you say be quiet to
No,
me?
no, no.
Yeah, be quiet, for example, or yeah,
Verbs
things
them
like
ending
that. And
consonant,
like with
okay.
many other grammatical patterns that we introduced through our previous lessons in Korean, when you want to tell someone to do something, you have to use a particular verb ending.
네.
Verb endings are, well, useful
네.
to know. The more you know, the better. So today we're introducing
으세요.
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 Well, sometimes it is 세요, sometimes it is
으세요.
yeah, depending on the verb stem.
네.
So the rules are verb stems ending with a consonant are followed by
으세요.
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 Okay, so 먹으세요. 먹으세요. Please eat. That's probably something that parents very often say to their little children when they play around on the table when it's dinner time or so. They play around and they don't eat, so you say 먹으세요. 먹으세요.
And verb stems ending with a vowel or the consonant 리을 are followed by
세요.
yeah. Let's look at some examples.
네.
So how do you say to come?
오다.
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 The verb stem is
오.
and it is ending with a vowel, so you add
세요.
and actually it would be weird if you say 오으세요. 오으세요.
네, 이상해요.
Yeah, so you say
오세요.
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 Yeah, even if you want
이상해요, she said. It's strange, weird. 이상해요.
to say 오으세요, if you say it quickly, it becomes 오세요.
네.
So 오세요
오세요.
means please come
네.
or come here.
오세요.
Yeah, come over here. And how do you say to rest?
쉬다.
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 Yeah, so what is the verb stem?
쉬.
She and together with 세요, what does it become?
쉬세요.
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 Thank you. I'll go ahead and get some rest.
현우 씨 말고요.
Not me.
네.
So please get some rest. Get some rest. Rest a bit is
쉬세요.
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 Rest a lot. Get a lot of rest is
고르다.
많이 쉬세요. Or you can say 푹 쉬세요.
okay. Thank you. I'll then.
Not you.
Oh, okay. It's not me again.
그랬어요.
네.
All right. And how do you say to choose something? To pick something.
고르다.
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 And how do you say please choose? Please make a choice.
고르세요.
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 Perfect. And all these sentences are in the polite language, right?
네, 존댓말이요?
존댓말. And actually, all our sentences are in 존댓말.
네.
Okay, last example. How do you say to fold something?
접다.
So the question is, can you do it also in an impolite conjugation? So without the yo. Can you say 그릇에?
접다,
I
to
don't
fold.
think so.
접다.
And fold it or please fold it is
접으세요.
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 Yeah, this is an example of
접으세요.
a verb stem ending
접으세요.
with a consonant that is not real, so it is followed by
으세요.
yeah, so it becomes
접으세요.
yeah. And when a verb stem ends with the last consonant
접으세요.
real, you drop the real and add 세요 because it would be hard to pronounce 세요. So for example, to sell something is
팔다.
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 And the verb stem is actually
팔.
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 But you drop the L part
네.
and say
Pretty easy to pronounce, to be honest. 팔세요. 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 But of course, 파세요 is even easier, but 팔세요 is still not super hard, to be honest.
파세요.
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 Sell it. Please sell it.
네, 파세요.
Sell it to me.
저한테 파세요.
Yeah, sell it to me. 저한테 파세요.
저한테 파세요.
For
저한테? 한테. To me. 저한테, yeah. Okay. Very good. 한테. 저한테.
for $1. Sell it to me. 저한테 파세요.
저한테 파세요.
For
저한테.
$1. $1에
1달러에
저한테 파세요. Or 1,000원에 저한테 파세요.
1,000원에요.
Depends on what it is, right?
네.
Okay, so we're introducing this verb ending 세요 or 세요 as a way to tell someone to do something. But actually, this is just one of the many variations where the honorific suffix,
시,
once again,
시.
is used. So inside 세요 or 으세요, there is this suffix 시 included. But for now, don't worry about it. Just focus on this particular usage of asking someone to do something.
네, 걱정.
Honorific suffix she is included in the say, I guess.
걱정하지 말고 공부하세요.
Yeah, don't worry and just learn this for now because we're going to cover this.
To worry is 걱정하다.
Suffix 시 because we're going to cover this suffix
걱정하지 말고 공부하세요.
focus on this particular usage of asking someone to do something.
네, 걱정하지 말고 공부하세요.
Yeah, don't worry and just learn this for now because we're going to cover
안녕,
this
Red Blue
suffix
Green.
시 in our future
Welcome.
lessons in detail.
네.
It is not
Stream
the
is
time
almost
yet.
over, but
네.
Okay, so I think
I will stop a few minutes earlier today. So we're just finishing up this lesson and then it's over again.
형은 it's my favorite time of the lesson.
네. 저도 좋아해요.
Yeah, sample sentences time. And how do you say please come again?
오세요.
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 Yeah, and how do you say please come here or please come at 3 o'clock tomorrow?
내일 3시에 오세요.
내일 3시에 오세요.
내일 3시에 오세요.
내일 3시에 오세요. And this is what 경은 always tells me.
네.
How do you say study? Do some studying.
공부하세요.
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 Yeah, 공부하세요. So the verb is
공부하다.
so it becomes
공부하세요.
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 And this is what I say to 경은 all the time. And the sentence is 경은, hurry up and get some work done. Do some work. Work.
경은 씨, 빨리 일하세요.
Yeah, 경은 씨 빨리 일하세요. 빨리.
Even though I work hard,
I
you
keep
always
saying that.
yeah.
No, in fact, everyone, I was just joking. Thus, the following sentence is what I say to 경은.
경은 씨 빨리 일하세요. 일하세요?
All the time.
I-
I was just joking. Thus, yeah, 경은 씨 빨리 일하세요. 빨리.
even though
해요.
공부하세요.
And this is what I and the sentence is 경은, hurry up and get some work done. Do some work. Work.
경은 씨, 빨리 일하세요.
Yeah, 경은 씨 빨리 일하세요. 빨리.
Even though I
일하세요.
work hard,
Iraseo. So it's more like an R instead of an L. Iraseo. Gets connected to the, basically to the R sound. The H sound disappears. Iraseo. Iraseo. Okay.
Are
You
you keep
always,
saying that?
yeah.
No. In fact, everyone, I was just joking. Thus, the following sentence is what I say to Kyungwon all the time.
Oh, I don't
I
think
say
so.
to Kyungwon, 경원 씨 쉬세요. Please take some rest.
I've never heard this sentence from you.
That's because I say this every time in my head only.
Okay.
Please take some rest. 경원 씨 쉬세요. I'm worried about you. You're working too hard.
다음에는
Yeah.
꼭 말로 해주세요.
Next time, speak.
네.
Okay, I'll try.
Don't say in your mind.
Okay. And now, what is the verb for to be careful?
조심하다.
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 And how do you tell someone to watch out or to be careful?
Okay. Shimhada, to be extreme. Guanchimada doesn't exist. Guanchimiita, to be interested in or to have interested in something. Choshim. Choshim. You know what? There's a StarCraft player. Choshim Zerg. AKA Soma. Choshim Zerg. Careful Zerg. Interesting. That doesn't look very Zergy. Red, blue, green, what do you say? Are you still here? You know Soma, right? And you know that his old account is Chosim Zerg. But I'm actually not sure if it's Joe or Cho. Let me see if Cho exists. Cho Shim Hada. Be new to one's life. Choshim, one's first intention. I think it's actually careful. I think it's actually Joe. Joshim Zerg. But that's so weird. Zergs are always portrayed as aggressive and so on, not careful. Careful, I would say a Terran is careful. Maybe. Joshim Zerg. Okay, interesting.
조심하세요.
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 For example, beware of the dogs.
개 조심하세요.
개 조심하세요.
개 조심하세요.
They might bite you. Or watch out for fire.
불 조심하세요.
Good analysis on the different shim words. Shim mind. Okay. You mean yesterday where we dissected all the different interesting and non-interesting things? It's good to learn these Chinese elements. It will help a lot later on. I still, I have to admit, I cannot see how it can help me, because very often there's a syllable in different Korean words and they have very different meanings. So sometimes the syllable is just another meaning. Do I have an example here? Okay, like Su. Su sometimes is related to water, right? Water. Su Yonghada, to swim. But there's also Sugyonhada. search. I thought it's Sugonada. I'm not sure. I guess it was Sugonada. Okay. Okay, this is actually related to water. Okay, okay. But there was another one. I can't think of it now. That is not related to water. Yeah, here, Sugo-hada, for example. So here you can see hada is, so that means it's Chinese origin, but it's not using the water meaning in this case. So, number, yeah, number as well. Okay. So we have water and number. So, yeah, okay. So I guess it can have two meanings, and if I know both of them, then it can help me. Yeah. But I get this knowledge from knowing the Korean words. Anyways, I don't need the Chinese meaning for that. I can uh, automatically know the meaning, the Chinese meaning from the knowledge of the Korean words, I think. But yeah, anyways, there was actually on How to Study Korean, there's a big Hanja section, Unit 1. So you have 20 lessons here. You have a total of 60 lessons of Hanja. So, I mean, the lessons are nowhere near as long as, as the normal lessons of Korean, of course. But no, I don't want to. I just need the meaning, right? I don't plan to learn it. I mean, I did learn. I have pages of Chinese letters in my notebook where I practice the correct stroke order and the look of my Chinese symbols. I definitely have that because I did learn Chinese in university. But yeah, I just didn't learn enough. So yeah, I don't know. So how would it help me? So if I see man, for example, man, I know. Okay, man is 10,000 in Korean. Man. So how does it help me to know this one? Or let's take another example. Let's take another one. Numbers, direction. What do we have here? Water. Here, water. There we go. River. Kang. Okay, Kang. We have river Kang. We have a Chinese symbol here. So now, what do I get from this? Words with more characters. Choshim. Here's the Su. You look up and then you see the element, what the elements are. Okay. My first love. To hold, to drill, to exercise. Hard mind. Oh yeah, I actually remember that from my Chinese lessons. Yeah. I did learn some words with this symbol inside. machine. Okay. Yeah, anyways. Yeah, I guess it comes over time. I think I can see the usefulness later on if I notice more of it. Yeah. Yeah, I still think I don't know enough words and I'm not at the level yet. But I will keep it in mind. Thank you. Okay, so it's already almost 7. I actually have to hurry a bit.
불 조심하세요.
불 조심하세요.
Yeah.
그리고 조심하세요. 현우 씨가 나타났어요.
Am I supposed to translate that for you? Be careful or watch out. Hyunwoo is here. What does that even mean? Everyone?
Just for sample sentence.
Okay. 경은 씨 조심하세요. Watch
왜요?
out for 경은. She's
왜요?
dangerous. And yeah, before we go, I would like to look at some fixed expressions using 세요.
This
네.
In fact, we
This part is
use
important.
these expressions almost every day,
네, 맞아요.
except for the last one. But let's look
네,
at some
맞아요.
fixed expressions using 세요. So when you go into a store or a shop or a restaurant or a cafe, the people who are working there will say to you,
어서 오세요.
어서 오세요.
어서 오세요.
Even if
Come
you
quickly.
step into a
So also means quickly. 빨리.
McDonald's in Korea, you will hear,
어서 오세요. 맥도날드입니다.
or they say, 안녕하세요, 맥도날드입니다.
네, 안녕하세요.
맥도날드입니다.
네.
Yeah. So in this 어서 오세요, 세요 is used.
네.
Literally, it means come quickly.
네.
So it means you are welcomed here. So welcome.
어서 오세요.
어서 오세요. And this is another basic greeting that we learned in
Go
our
and stay.
first lessons.
네.
And when someone is leaving and you're staying, what do you say?
안녕히 가세요.
안녕히 가세요.
안녕히 가세요.
Literally, it means go peacefully, go in peace, and it means
But I feel last time we learned a different one. I cannot remember 안녕 being in goodbye, to be honest. There was another one, but I don't remember.
goodbye.
안녕히 가세요.
안녕히 가세요.
안녕히 가세요.
Again, you have that 가세요 there, and 가세요 comes from 가다, and 가세요 means please go away. And if you're the one who's leaving and the other person is staying here, what do you say?
You know what? So I never thought about this, but this verb should exist and it's to be peaceful. Oh well.
안녕히 계세요.
안녕히 계세요.
안녕히 계세요.
And at the end of our
계세요.
lessons, we usually say,
안녕히 계세요.
because we disappear and you stay. So we say,
안녕히 계세요.
yeah. Here, the expression 계세요 doesn't exactly come from a verb 계다. 계다 doesn't exist.
네.
Just remember it as a fixed expression, but it has the same ending, 세요 there.
네,
계세요.
계세요.
Yeah, so it means stay
가세요.
peacefully.
안녕히 계세요.
안녕히 계세요.
안녕히
And the last
계세요.
example is how to say good night in Korean. So how do you say that?
안녕히 주무세요.
안녕히 주무세요.
안녕히 주무세요.
Yeah, it has the same part. 안녕히 there, it means peacefully, happily. And 주무세요 is please sleep.
네.
So please.
자세요? Why Jumu? I know. There are probably those very formal, very polite versions of the words. So Jada is the normal one, and Jumuda is probably the formal version of to sleep. We had the same with it's formal Ita. Okay, nice. We had that example with Buopta. Buopta, I think. Buopta? Buop. But what was it? To answer? To answer? Buopta? Bapta? And then we have Buopta as a formal version. Something like that. I remember something like that, but it doesn't matter. I don't need to remember the super formal versions of the words, except of course in those phrases. But I learned the phrases as once and not. I don't know. I don't learn the formal version of the word because I will never use it outside of this phrase. Okay, so that's it, and with that the lesson is over, and with that also the stream is over for today. So I did lesson 24, 25, 26 today. I will definitely do 27 as well because it's basically related to the one that I just did. So we have a Juseo here. Yeah, so it's similar. I don't need to explain why. Particles for method way. Euro. Okay, I know this one already, but I will skip through it quickly. This one, I am pretty sure I know this. I will also quickly scroll through it. Don't do it. G Maseo. That's also related to 26. So G is G Gianta is negative. Mandelda is to make. Okay, but no, okay, never mind. It's the Ma is new. The Ma is new. Don't do it. Okay, yeah, I will check this one out. Okay, so we have one that we'll do, two we will quickly scroll through, and then another one we will do. So for tomorrow, 2 full lessons and 2 half lessons. That's 3 like today, and then we are actually finished. So I think, yeah, tomorrow I will finish level 2 of Talk to Me in Korean, and after that we'll of course do the review. That will be interesting because I have not done the lessons that I think I know already. So in this review we can actually check if I really knew all the things that I have not checked out here. So that will be interesting. But yeah, first of all, tomorrow we will finish the remaining lessons, and then on Monday we will do the review. So that's the plan, and that was the stream for today. So thanks a lot for watching, and have a good day, night, evening, morning, whatever. Bye bye. Annyeong.